But me and Jessa have been together for 4 years. We have lived together. We've been through the rough, through the bad. So even though we haven't technically, we're not technically married yet, I still think I can give a really good perspective on whether or not, does a Filipino make a good wife?
Hey guys! Welcome back. It's me again, Jessa and Travis.
Hindi tayo doon eh!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am super excited to bring you all another video. I'm actually recording on the new GoPro, so we're gonna see how it works. I normally record on my phone. The mic is up here, so we're gonna see how it works. This is a crazy video, and I'm sure it's gonna be ultra controversial for some people, but it's gonna be my take on, does a Filipina make a good wife? Now, with that being said, of course, we have to understand, I'm not married yet, but me and Jessa have been together for 4 years. We have lived together. We've been through the rough, through the bad. So even though we haven't technically, we're not technically married yet, I still think I can give a really good perspective on whether or not, does a Filipina make a good wife? So with that being said, I'm gonna go right into it. So the first thing is that, I have come to find out and learn that one, Filipinas are loving and caring. And I think everybody kind of agrees with that, Jessa has been nothing but absolutely loving to me and caring, except for some of the fights, but we'll get into that. So I would say I'm gonna list some good and I'm gonna list some bad, and then we're gonna go to an overall, but I'd say the loving and caring is probably one of the most interesting experiences, because I don't want to say that all Western women aren't like that, but let's just be honest, they're not all loving and caring. It's very different dating in the Asian culture and then being a fiance to an Asian culture, and I'm sure being married to an Asian culture. So my first would have to be loving and caring. My second, I'm gonna go into it, is kind of attached to loving and caring, but it really goes into they're willing to relocate. So with that being said, and they're willing to relocate, that's huge. They're willing to uproot their lives for you. And I think that says a lot in its own. Being able to leave your family, leave your friends, leave everything behind to go and live with your fiance and future husband, I think that is absolutely amazing. And that says a lot about a person's character and where they want to be later in life. So I think that has a huge part of being with the loving and caring, but the willingness to move, and I think that is an absolute treasure. Going into my third, I want to mention that, Filipinos in general, not everybody, but they're faithful, okay? I would say, I don't want to say average, because not everyone is average. So I would say traditionally, the Filipinas are very faithful. Of course, you're going to have some of those, gold diggers, but overall, I would say that the tradition and the religion background for most Filipinos, generalizing here, are very faithful. So again, with Western women, I wouldn't be able to say that. I really have almost zero confidence in if I was to ever date a Western woman. You almost can guarantee, I'm generalizing again, but they're probably unfaithful. And again, it's a cultural difference, and the divorce rates for Western marriages and relationships they're traditionally higher. And I say one of the fourth things is once you're married and fiance, even boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, you're never hungry, okay? Never hungry. So, like Jessa, she loves to cook. You know, she's gotten so good at cooking. She even tried to cook me like Western meals, like macaroni and cheese, and I think that's pretty awesome. But she made a bomb macaroni and cheese like a few times, and then, you know, a few times we like mucked him up. And she's probably gonna laugh at that. But sometimes I was like, oh, what the heck happened to this macaroni and cheese? Like, this is definitely not like shells and cheese from Kraft. That's pretty funny. But so my good reasons were gonna be loving, caring. You have your willingness to relocate, which is a huge one. Being faithful, never hungry, and I don't want to make it too super long, but I think those characteristics are an absolute treasure. Now let's get into the fun part, which is, you know, the bad. So, you know, we did the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't know if we even have any ugly, but I'm gonna list some bad, and again, it's not necessarily bad. It's a different take on bad, okay? So, you know, there's also good and bads that come with Westerners. I have little to no patience, and I'm very direct, which is different for, which is different for Asian cultures. I'm very direct, whereas some people just like to beat around the bush per se, and they don't like to tackle the problem at hand. So one of the bad is Filipinas are not always straightforward, and I can tell you this by experience. Me and Jessa, do we argue and get into fights? Yes. Who starts the fights? Oh, that could be an argument, but I'd say Jessa starts more of them. And it's not because she wants to fight, but she isn't forward with me. So, you know, and that would bring me to my first bad, but the second bad, again, would be like that, how do I say this? like kind of like childish anger. You know, a little pouty. She'll like kind of ignore you. Like, you ever get when you get like, I have read messages on my text messages, and I'll know that she looked at my message but she didn't reply. Oh my gosh, that drives me up the wall. And when I mean like childish anger, I want to say like the unwillingness to talk directly to me. You know, hey, let's sit down, let's talk about this problem, we need to work this out, because it's important that, you know, we work this out. I don't like to go to bed angry, and I want to be able to fix whatever is wrong, but unless you're straightforward with me, I can't help. So I think we've come a long way, especially with that cultural difference, is, so, you know, just like, for an example, and she's gonna be mad at me for saying this, but she was watching some videos on YouTube or on TikTok, and it's like, say, military men visiting their you know, girlfriend, boyfriend, and she's like, well, why can't you do that? So I explained to her, I said, you know, I can come and visit you, but there's a lot of different things. Like, other sailors, they don't have my job. So my job is a very high demand. When I was in Sasebo, I had a critical NEC. I was one of one, meaning that it's really hard for me to leave because there was no one there to do my job. So if I left, that was it, because we didn't have people coming in because of COVID. So, you know, in Bahrain, we were there together. We didn't have to worry about that. And now while I'm here in Virginia, you know, it's just different. I can't just up and leave. You know, I supervise a lot of people. I have a lot of task critical things I need to do, and there's not a whole lot of people that could replace me if I just up and leave for weeks at a time. So when you move up in the chain of command or in rank, sometimes it's just not as easy to take leave. You can, but it has to be really strategically planned, so someone is there to take your place and replace you, your duties, your responsibilities, in order for you to take leave. And, you know, at first she didn't really understand that, and I kind of had to explain to her, like, hey, this is kind of why I can't come and see you just, you know, just right off the bat like that. And but I felt like we were mad at each other for like an entire day. She was mad, and I was more mad that she had said something, and I was like, well, you have to understand. So I would say the culture or the understanding of my job is very important. So you have to understand where I'm coming from, especially because I'm a service member, which means I don't have the freedom to just drop everything and leave. It's just, unfortunately, it's not like that. And I'd say, so that's my 2, and my 3rd would be, I'll probably get tired of rice. Now, Jessa makes some bomb rice. I love rice, but I like fried rice with bacon, chicken in it, and egg, and sarap. I think she called it sarap, right? Is that what it's called? I think that's like what it's called. But anyways, what I'm getting at is, so there's not a whole lot of bad, and I wouldn't even consider those bad, I would just say those are some of those cultural problems, but I want to save that for a different video, is when me and Jessa will talk about our cultures and how we get along and what we do. But so I went from the good to the bad, and I don't really have any ugly. I'd say the only ugly would be sometimes that cultural conflict where we don't understand, or I'll say something too direct and she'll take it like I insulted her, but it wasn't really an insult. I was more trying to educate her, and maybe she took it the wrong way or misinterpreted and misunderstood what I was saying. I do have a habit of talking kind of fast, and I'll use big words sometimes, which obviously I don't know Tagalog, so I can't understand when she's saying it. So obviously she's not perfect at English either, so she doesn't understand what I'm saying sometimes, or she'll take it like I'm being rude, which I'm absolutely not, but you never know. Sometimes it, you know how it is, right? Everyone, we might have misunderstandings per se. So overall, would a Filipina make a good wife? Absolutely. I think, based on my prior experience, I've dated Western women, and I have never been more happy than I am now in the current relationship with Jessa. I think she's everything I just mentioned. She's loving, caring, willing to relocate. She loves to cook. She loves to take care of me. She loves animals. She has the kindest heart I have ever. It's hard for me to even fathom like how generous and how kind she is. She's willing to learn and willing to adapt, and that is insane. That is such a it's such a necessary characteristic in today's society, because you have to be willing to adapt and learn different things and be able to move and go different places, and she can still be successful. She's been to Japan, she's been to Bahrain, she's gonna come to America. I mean, she's traveled, learned, knows multiple languages, she's very smart, loves to work out, health conscious. So all these are such amazing traits, and I think a lot of Filipinas also share these traits. Some might have to be, dug up, but I think Filipinas would make amazing wives, and I think anyone is lucky to get a hold of one, especially like Jessa. And I know there's more out there that have a loving heart just like her, and I know you guys are looking for love, you gals are looking for love, and just pump the brakes a little bit. Don't be too quick to get into something, because the right one, when it's time, Yahweh will bring him along, okay? I really hope you found this video interesting. I really am gonna make a video on talking about culture, because I think that is a hot topic, and a lot of people are interested in how we made an LDR work with our cultural differences, especially when we do argue at times. So I'm really interested in sharing that. Don't forget our Patreon will be launching soon, specifically honing in on those the scams and different things like that. So don't miss out. Like and comment. Please follow us and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and thank you for watching.